Welcome to another edition of TSA Safety Matters. I'm your host, Greg Kerr from Stakeholder Relations, and today we're with Mike Adams, Director for Boilers and Pressure Vessels and Operating Engineers, for a few thoughts on the work that both programs do in providing great safety across the province. So thanks for being with us today, Mike.
My pleasure, Greg.
Now, Mike, you've almost made it your personal initiative to really get out there into the industry and meet with a lot of professional bodies. So what's the reception been like, and how many people do you actually connect with?
Well, yes, when I got here, one of the things about BPV OE is that we're the unknown program. We're not we always working in the background. As long as people, when they go into the room, turn on the switch, the lights come on, they don't know about BPV OE. As long as you turn the tap, the water comes out, no problems, BPV's on the job.
Mm-hmm.
What gets noticed is when that doesn't happen. So we're basically an unknown safety program. So what I've taken on is to get out into the public and just meet with the manufacturers, meet with associations, just to let them know what we are, what we do, and how can we improve public safety for Ontario. So far, I've been out to about over 130 manufacturers, associations, etc., just to get the word out on BPV. Mm-hmm. So the reception's been very, very well. I've received some excellent ideas from them, through them and through the advisory councils, which help us make better decisions in supporting public safety for Ontario.
What were a few of those ideas?
Well, one of the unpopular ones was the latest fee increase. We received some excellent feedback on the fee increases, so that we tailored it to the unique requirements for the manufacturing industry. So that was some very good feedback that was put to good use.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's good that we're at least responsive and getting also this message out that it's a shared responsibility that everyone has with both professions.
Very much so. We are very responsive to our customer base. For instance, on the BPV side, we have received a request from the Canadian Boiler and Machinery Underwriters Association about inspection frequencies for some components. So we did a safety analysis and determined that yes, we could reduce some inspection frequencies for some components without increasing risk of in the safety. So we did that we updated our code adoption document to reflect those changes. We were also approached by the ski industry to help them with their new snowmaking equipment. Mm-hmm. The new, more efficient systems operate at higher pressures, so they asked us to take a look at the safety ramifications of operating at those higher pressures under the BPV regulation. And we did another safety analysis and determined that they could operate at those pressures within the safety boundaries. And so we made that change in the code adoption document just 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. So we're working, being very responsive to industry requirements.
So will you also be conducting periodic inspections of those snowmaking machines as well prior to like a season opening?
No, that's what the request was. Up to a certain pressure, they only need the initial inspection. They don't need periodic inspections. So we raised that threshold so that they would not suddenly require additional inspections.
Okay, makes sense. Now you have applied that very unique risk-informed decision-making in operating engineers. What kind of results have you seen as that's evolved?
Well, yes, we've used the risk-informed decision-making process for a long time in OE. Basically, we classify our plants into high, medium, low-risk plants and inspect the high-risk plants more frequently. And over the past few years, we have seen definite increases in compliance rates as the high-risk plants become better and therefore upgrade to a medium-risk plant, which we inspect less frequently, and our compliance rate is continuously improving. Mm-hmm. So that's, and we're looking at expanding that again to further drive further increase the compliance rate by focusing on the low-risk plants. So that part is working out quite well.
And they're seeing a benefit too. The more compliant you are, the less it costs you, and the better your machinery runs in the first place, right?
It's better, it runs better, it's safer, and the difference between every twice a year to every 2 years is a significant cost saving. So yes, there is incentive for the plants to become a low-risk plant.
You've also done, I think, something exciting with operating engineers in creating this power engineering video to address the skills shortage that's there. What was the work involved, and what's the reception been like?
Yes, that was an exciting project that we started discussing this with the people from the Institute of Power Engineers, and we decided one of the main things for the power engineers is we want to, it's an unknown career. It's a very, could be a very lucrative career, but people don't know about it. So we decided to put together a video aimed at the high school, college area or people, to let them know that that operating engineer is a very viable career choice. So we worked with we did a competitive bid and selected a company to work with us to do the video of actual operating engineering sites, colleges, and real operating engineers. And it turned out very, very well. We introduced it at the annual general meeting of the Institute of Power Engineers in Ottawa last September, and it was a resounding success. We've received nothing but very positive comments on it, and the best compliment I've received universally is that people who watch it says, "That's great. I'm going to show it to my son or daughter." So that's a strong endorsement for that video.
And I think it's also got quite a few hits on TSA's YouTube channel as well. Yes,
it's very popular. I think from the numbers I see, of all the TSA videos, there's more hits on that one video than all the rest combined.
Yeah. Now you're not resting on your laurels. You're still advancing forward on addressing this skills shortage. You're also working with colleges, are you not?
Correct. With the OE Advisory Council, we have a risk reduction group looking at the future of power engineers, and one of the things that they're looking at is the colleges. Right now we have 6 colleges that are certified to train operating engineers to either 4th, 3rd, and even one college up to a 2nd class level. There's another college that's very close to being certified by TSSA, and an 8th has started that process. We have also looking at how we could increase the capacity of our existing colleges. So the Chief Officer, John Coulter, has gone with the RRG members to meet all 6 colleges to ask them what do they need to increase capacity, because right now they've got more candidates than they can take in. So we'd like to increase capacity and also find out what the colleges need. So that's going on right now, and the next report will be presented at the next advisory council, which I think is in about in a month or 2.
I suspect funding will probably be one of those.
It inevitably is.
Yes. Now you've also doing a bit of work on regulatory reviews in both OE and BPV. On the BPV side, it's more on the compliance issue. What's been happening in that sort of circle?
We've been very active in that area for the last few years. We've been working with our insurance partners and looking at options for how we could share data, because one of the unique factors of BPV is that TSSA only periodically inspects roughly 5% of the boilers and pressure vessels in Ontario. The remainder are inspected by insurers. who have inspectors who are certified by TSSA but employed by the insurance companies. So we have our separate databases, so now we've been looking at how to share data. We're also looking at how we can improve the regulation or the application of the regulation. So we've been working with the ministry to pull together a project to actually do a blank piece of paper or
A blank
evaluation,
slate,
a blank slate evaluation of where we are now, where we want to be, and how do we get there. Part of that process, MCS has hired a third-party company, KPMG, to do to evaluate the issues, the options that we're looking at, to go out and get stakeholder feedback from the advisory council members, the risk reduction group members, various associations of organizations that use boilers and pressure vessels, such as condo owners, dry cleaners, et cetera, et cetera. So that is ongoing right now, and we're expecting a report mid-year this year from KPMG, from which MCS and TSSA will move forward.
And the more players, the better, right?
Yes, that's one of their main one of the main functions of of KPMG is to a very broad-based stakeholder questionnaire. So they're in the process of doing that right now.
And that makes sense too, because again, it is this sort of shared sense of responsibility that we have for safety.
Very much so.
Well, thanks, Mike. It's been a pleasure talking with you this afternoon. We'll look forward to more of your updates on the exchange shortly.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Stay tuned for more TSSA Safety Matters.